This is a live trading video on how I made a $6,600 profit on the S&P 500 futures. I want you all to see my raw emotions, where I entered, where I exited, and my overall thought process for this trade. I know you all gain a lot of insight from live trading. Before we get into it, we have to understand the context for this live trading setup. Now, I post this pre-market plan. I post them every single day in my Discord of setups I'm watching, levels I'm looking out for, and potential trading scenarios. So the plan on the S&P 500 today was to not be a bull, to not be a bear, but instead just going with the flows of the market and playing levels and reacting to how price action develops around those levels. For me, my key level was 4611, which had to do with a pre-market consolidation range on top of something else that I'm going to explain in this video on how I came up with this level. Now, to the upside, we were coming into a 4631 pink supply box. I said this is key for me and has rejected the market once before in the past. I even said I'm not keen to shorting such strength unless the retest or a new supply gets developed. However, if we reject supply, it may offer some opportunity to get short targeting this green box below, and this was my trade today. Before we get into the live trade, I recommend everybody watching this to stop what you're doing and click the link in the description below to follow me on my Instagram at amertitrade. I post daily trading recaps along with really good trading tips and tricks that I guarantee you're not going to find anywhere else. Again, the link is in the description below, and you're really missing out if you're not following this because I do recap a lot of trades on a daily basis on there. But now let's get right into this live trade. All right, I'm watching the S&P 500 below this 4625 level, 4624 level to play short. It's one of those setups where if we break below, I am using the next demand, the next support level as a target, acting like a magnet to price. That's the setup. That's the strategy for this. We are rejecting the supply zone. We are putting in a lower high. We are starting to see some selling pressure do step in. We do have news at 10 o'clock Eastern, but I am watching this to break below this 4625-24 level. Play short, targeting 4611. All right, I'm in short ES, 4625. I'm watching this thing to break down below this 4625-24 level. And like I said, once we get below this, there's minimal support, minimal demand until about 4611, which I'm using my target. The only issue with this is the volatility is pretty dead, and I cannot expect just a straight move down. It's going to be most likely a slow mover. I'm going to place my stop loss for this trade directly above 4631, 4632. So I'm really risking about 5 or 6 points to make a potential 14 points to the downside. Again, the issue is the volume is pretty lackluster intraday. The volatility is pretty dead. So I just have to be very, very cautious. A 3,500 lot just hit the bid at 4625. The selling is starting to slowly step in. This is what you want to see on a breakdown. So what I'm watching for is the pressure to the downside to increase as we move lower. You don't want to see a ton of selling and then an immediate bounce back higher. You want to see the selling increase, volume start to come down as we start moving lower. You want to start to see that, indicating that sellers are hitting the market as the market's moving lower. You don't want to see a lack of liquidity. You don't want to see a lack of volume. That is exactly what I'm watching as I'm in this trade. As we could tell from the footprint, as the market was coming up higher with all that aggressive buying, as soon as the sellers stepped in around 4628, 4627, the market started to sell off below that, especially below 4625, that key level that I mentioned. Now, as we're moving lower, the selling is starting to slowly start to increase. So this high volume right here that we're developing at the low is a very good sign as long as we keep selling off and maintaining this type of volume as we move lower. We're going to look at a profile from the overnight session from this SVP right column. We see a ton of volume here at the high and a lack of volume as the market was rallying compared to what we see at the high over here. So looking at this, directly below this 4620, 4617 level, the chances of my 4610 target triggering will be very, very high. I'm up about 2,000 right now off of 10 contracts. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stop loss 2 points lower at 4630. So I'm slowly decreasing my risk as the market moves in my favor. Because if we do bounce and reclaim above all this high volume, the chances of my analysis being correct to the downside is less likely. So I'm going to adjust my stop loss at this point with this new information that is getting developed due to this aggressive selling pressure. All right, here's a possible breakdown of low day. What I do like is how VIX is slowly starting to creep up and begin to rally and break this consolidation range as the S&P is near the low day. The line of least resistance is to the downside, meaning there's not much support below. So as long as the selling increases, our downside target is very, very likely of triggering. Negative 1200 lot delta at 4619. The selling is very, very strong. As you can see, as the market's coming down, selling is still there. We can see it from a candlestick chart. This volume at the low really is not indicating a possible actual low a day. This is indicating a possible rally up, a possible bounce, and then a retest of this to break this low. I firmly believe this is not a low a day being put in. This might be just a relief bounce up. How far that relief bounce is, I'm not 100% sure. But I do think this 4615 will be tested again at some point today, hopefully in the very near future, without much risk to the upside. So now we're going to test the low a day. That bounce that we saw higher came and stopped around 4623. A lot higher than I wanted, a lot higher than I expected. But this thing is still looking very weak. This thing is still looking very bearish. And I'm not asking for 20, 30 more points. I'm simply asking for another quick 3-4 point sell-off below the low a day into my 4611 pre-market consolidation target. And here's your low a day break. Some nice selling pressure. You see how that selling is just hitting the market very aggressively and continuously putting pressure lower. I'm going to cover 80% of my position at this 4611 target. All right, I'm out 80% here. I'm in 2 contracts left. I will hold runners and exit the remainder position if we reclaim back above 4621, 4622. I am out 8 at 4612. S&P on a 5-minute chart, also lower lows, lower highs. Put in a lower high at the supply zone, which was kind of the cherry on top for entering this short position. And I'm not trying to ask for much, but this is a consolidation range from the overnight session. This is yesterday's high of day, and this also is the previous high of day. So this 4611, 4610-ish general area is a very, very important level moving forward that I expect to be supported from buyers. If this level does fail, the selling will continue into the FOMC range from yesterday, the day prior. But I am only in 2 contracts left. This trade can never, ever go red on me. I already locked in 8 contracts for a 13-point gain. And let's just see what happens. All right, I'm all out here. Just covered 4611. Don't like that low at daybreak. I don't like how it's at that 4609 level. I am taking my profits off. Although we are bearish, although we are putting in lower lows, although we are putting in lower highs, I am taking full profits off this table. I was not very keen to shorting this rally. I was not very keen to shorting this strength. I did so anyway. It worked out. I had a plan and I managed my risk. And I'm not going to get greedy with it and expect a continued sell-off. Yeah, we could argue I could hold runners, but this is my target. And this is a very important inflection area in the market that I think the market could have a high odd of reversing. I'm not in long. I'm not in short anymore. I am just protecting myself at this level. It might sell off another 20, 30 points, and I might have missed out on another $10,000, but I followed my plan, and I'm getting out at my target. It was a $6,600 profit so far on the day. Maybe there's another opportunity we can make more money with. Maybe this is it. But I just know the market is at an important area, and I don't want to get greedy and say, okay, Carmine, my plan was to sell at 4611, and we're at 4611, but I'm still holding on to this because I want to make more money. That's the wrong approach, and I'm not going to have FOMO if it does keep selling off. I had a plan, I managed my risk, and I followed that plan with no distractions or zero emotions. The whole common theme with this was as the market was selling off, we saw tons of selling aggression continuously step in as the market was moving lower, where every single time the market tried to move higher with aggressive buying, it automatically and immediately got shut off. Now, where did it get shut off at? Well, if we were to look at all this buying right here where I'm hovering my cursor over right now, and right here, it got shut off directly at that 4624, 4625 level where I wanted the market to break below and where we got short. So that old support level, or that old area that we took the market short below, acted as resistance once we were below it, and it fueled the further downside move once we were below into our target. Looks like that was a really good call selling down there. The market is having a hard time moving lower, and we are trying to bounce off of this level pretty nicely. Let's see what happens as the afternoon session does develop. But I am going to walk out of my office here for a little while, take a little break from the market. It is crazy how much exhaustion can occur by being in a position or being behind the screens and staring at the market for a few hours. It could definitely get mentally exhausting, and I don't think a lot of people really talk about that. But to avoid that, or to feel better, I like stepping out, going to the gym, coming back with a refreshed and a clear head. But awesome trade so far, and we are bouncing nicely off of that 4611 level. Just got back to my office, went to the gym, had lunch, and then I had a meeting to go to at 1 o'clock. And to be completely honest, I did not capture any of this afternoon sell-off. I am sitting here very, I wouldn't say frustrated, just upset that I did not catch this. I did not make any profits on the afternoon sell-off. We did bounce, and I did make a very good decision of getting out at that 4611 level. We did bounce off of that. We did put in a higher low, and in hindsight, that could have been a very good long entry. However, I'm very happy that I followed my plan, didn't get greedy, and didn't give any gains back by trying to hold for a bigger move, because I probably would have stopped out on that rally up. Now, this rally up rejected, as I mentioned earlier, directly at that 4624, 4625 level that retested, acted as resistance, and failed. It's frustrating seeing the market move 60, 70 points and not being able to capitalize on what could have been, in hindsight, an easy short to make an easy profit on if I was here watching this. As you could tell, the volatility very, very strong, volume very high, and at the point I'm recording this video, the VIX is up 6%. We haven't seen a VIX up 6% in this green in a very, very long time. So definitely hurts. I definitely feel like I missed out on a lot of profits today, but if the volatility is here to stay, I am 100% confident we will capitalize on a lot of other opportunities that will make us more money than this sell-off could have imagined, and we will take a lot of other trades that are very high quality ones as long as the volatility is here and the volume continues to act like this.